Hey everyone, welcome to Kempner Canucks. Today is a special video because we're going to be talking, yes, me and another special guest, we're going to be talking about if we were the new management team of the Vancouver Canucks. And yes, of course, I'm going to bring in the brains of this operation. It is Jacob Doodle from Doodle Hockey. Welcome to the channel. Great to have you back. How you doing, my friend?
You know, the Canucks ownership and Jim Rutherford has not contacted me yet for this general manager position, which is absolutely devastating. But, you know, there's still a hope.
Yeah, that's kind of weird because, like, I've already been through the interview process. And, I'm one of the final five. So, don't worry. My first hire will be you. So,
I appreciate that. New PR manager, maybe.
Yeah, so we talked about doing this video a long time ago, but we didn't know how the management team was going to go. And here we are. The general manager has been fired. Patrick Allvin is gone. I do think the Pedersen contract alone is worth firing over, but also I know that they want to go in a new direction with a new culture. And when they asked him about how's our culture, and he laughed and said, it's fine. I'm like, wow. And next thing you know, all Rutherford's talking about now is how the culture looks so much better. So what do you think about the firing and all that kind of stuff first, Jacob? How do you, like, do you think that was the right decision to make a change there?
Yeah, making a change was really important. I think it's going to be more than just Patrick Allvin. I do think there's going to be a coaching change here still. The fact that he's still around, though, makes me think maybe they might keep him for another year. But I think it was the right call. Now, Jim Rutherford stepped down as of just yesterday, and so that's obviously big news. And with Patrick Allvin being fired and them bringing in a completely new vision, a new voice, it's going to be fascinating to see what they do here. So overall, like, we needed, if we're going to be resetting this and resetting the culture, you got to start with the leadership, and the leadership starts from the top, and ownership is going to be a little tricky, but we can always go the next one down after that.
Absolutely. So today's video is all about if we were the new Canucks general manager or management team, how would you help rebuild this franchise into a contender? And it's not just getting back into the playoffs. It's not just being, getting people into the seats. Like, honestly, a contender if you're going to rebuild this. So I want to encourage you. Jacob and I are going to share our opinions on it, but post your comments in the comment section there. We'd love to hear from you. And of course, always hit the like and subscribe, of course, to Jacob's content as well, as he is building tons of great videos, plus draft content. You don't want to miss his draft content. So Jacob, if you were the new Canucks general manager, how would you help rebuild this franchise into a contender? What are some things you would do?
All right, so let's just start with the first thing. Well, we need to find a general manager, and this general manager can't just be, I guess, I don't know if a rehash is the right word for it, but I want to bring in someone that the Vancouver Canucks entire organization, the fan base, the media, every fan, casual or hardcore, can look at this guy and be like, man, this guy sounds like he knows what the hell he is doing. This guy sounds competent, he sounds intelligent, and he has good vision. And when you have a guy like that to rebuild your roster, because it's going to take some years to rebuilding, you need to build a culture, and it starts from the top, working your way down. And that general manager position is so important. So getting a good young, ideally, but like, it doesn't have to be super young, but just like a fresh, maybe fresh is the better word, voice in there, just to really push like a positive and hardworking attitude to move forward, so the Vancouver Canucks can be a successful team from the grassroots, because that is what it's going to take more than anything. And that is the most important thing right now before we even start doing anything else.
Yeah, absolutely. That is crucial. Just so you know, Jacob, they found their guy, and it's you. It's you. So,
and I know technically I'm supposed to be the general manager here, but like, hypothetically, that's what I'm looking for the Vancouver Canucks. Of course.
They're looking.
Same matters with the coaching staff as well. Like, he's going to bring in the coach. If we're going to just go that, then he's going to have to bring in the coach with that voice that is going to be building that culture in that locker room. So you can spin that straight into the coach as well.
Absolutely. 100%. Okay. So when it comes to like the very first thing that's going to come up as not only whether you're going to keep the coach or not, but which we both think that he's going to get a new coach, this new general manager will bring a new coach in. But the number one thing on the board will be the draft. And how do you think the Canucks should go strategy wise for this draft? Picking third, picking at the in later in the first round, the second round picks. Where are you feeling like the Canucks should target? What kind of style? What kind of thing? Is it best available player? Is it needs? Is it both? How does that work for you?
Just make every decision as intelligent and competent as you possibly can make it. Use the entire staff to come up with what you believe is the best route for the Vancouver Canucks to rebuild this team to be a Stanley Cup contender and eventually win the Stanley Cup. So what is that? If that revolves in you being creative and making some trades to potentially move up with some of the picks like the Minnesota pick or maybe the ones other that to target some guys you really like in the middle, like maybe a guy like Hemming or maybe a guy like Xavier Villeneuve, who doesn't really fit because our Canucks team, because we already have Zeev Bouillon, but like more in that range, like a Savanto, he's a great center. There's just Ethan Belchez, if you want a winger, a big winger. Like there's guys you can do that. Also, you have to nail your draft picks, like you said, right? Like that third overall pick is going to be fascinating because we just had a long conversation on it on our video there, and literally, we don't know how that's going to unfold, what's going to happen above us with San Jose and Toronto. Like, they could go defenseman, especially San Jose could go defenseman. So are we going to have Stenberg? If we have Stenberg, that changes how we're going to draft the rest of the guys. If we get Caleb Malhotra, maybe we're going to be leaning more wingers after that. Everything changes. So just do it properly, competently. And what I've always said to you, Rev, and I hope you agree with this, is like, I'm a big fan of staggering draft picks every year because it helps build your developmental system through not just 1 year where all these guys are coming out in the same year, same draft pick, salary and everything. You can actually build a proper organizational structure year by year by year that these guys are not being rushed into a position, and they'll have positions available because they're being staggered in and they're going to be moving up to the NHL in a proper way. And I love that aspect, and we have a lot of draft picks. So that's how I would be thinking about it.
Yeah, absolutely. And here's the thing. I want a McKenna and a Stenberg to come out of this draft in that first pick. That's what I want personally. If the Canucks go and say, we want that centerman, Caleb Malhotra's the guy. I don't think that Tynan Lawrence is as good as Caleb Malhotra. I love Virgo Bjork. Bjork, that guy is incredible. I really like him a lot. I think you and I might be the only guys that'd be really excited if we drafted him. But
he's small, but like if he was literally if he was 5'11" or 6 foot, this guy would be fighting for the first overall draft pick. He's that talented. He's a pit bull. He's a pit bull. The way he brings it against guys in the corner, 6'5" guys, and he just goes in there and wins puck battles. This guy, and he's so skilled. Love the guy, but he's short, and we can't have Marco Rossi and Vigo up the middle in the long run. It just doesn't make sense unless we trade Rossi. So that's why I think they're going to go with more Caleb in that scenario.
Yeah. So the other thing is if they go defenseman quickly, there's a lot of good forwards at the end of the first round and into the early second that I would be very excited about. Mm-hmm. So if a lot of people, this is the hard part about Canucks fans, I find, is most of us zone in on this is the one guy I want. So when we didn't get that first overall pick and now it's not McKenna, it's like they don't know what to do. And so don't worry, everyone. We've got the draft coverage that you need. We've been doing all kinds of research, so make sure you check out our stuff. Jacob's doing a ton. I've done quite a bit as well. We've got draft playlists on our YouTube channels that you don't want to miss. Okay, so there's
Watch
a lot of good players.
Rev's stuff. Rev has great content.
Right, we're both grunting. Okay, so what's the next thing that you would do, Jacob, if you were the general manager of the Canucks to build this into our contender?
I really think it's important to nail the creativity aspect of what we're going to be doing with our trading of the trade market. We have Pedersen. Are they going to go out and potentially trade a guy like Petey, who I still truly believe holds some value? I still truly believe that there would be at least one team out there in the NHL that would be able to take that contract because of the salary cap. What they announced today, it's going up 8 or 9 million again. And on top of it, some teams need to even get to the cap floor. Like a team like San Jose probably doesn't make the most sense right now. But like if San Jose said, hey, we want to take Petey for free or something, like would the Canucks do it? I don't think they would. I think they'll still want something for him. But like I think there would be a team out there who's just trying to hit the floor of the cap, let alone a thing. So they'll love to take a gamble on a guy like Petey, even if it's a longer term deal. So I think that's important to figure out if you want to go and make that trade. Also, I think it's really important to trade a guy like Jake DeBrusk. Jake DeBrusk had a really good finish to the season. I don't think he fits the age gap of what we're trying to build here. He's a good culture guy because he is a great guy and he can mentor a lot of these guys. Like there's nothing wrong. He's not a part of that old crew or anything like that. If you're worried about the whole reset aspect of it, and I think you could probably get a second round draft pick. Maybe if you're lucky, you can get a second and third rounder. I don't personally think he's worth a first, but like you never know. Like there's definitely a possibility out there. And then there's Drew O'Connor if you can trade him, but you can also wait until the trade deadline to trade him. Like it's going to be so important. Like even a fourth thing, like I'll tell you after. I want to hear your take on this first, but like I do want to tell you just one more thing after this when we're done this conversation.
Yeah, I actually, when we were doing this video and these ideas, one of mine was explore an EP40 trade and just see what he can get. Now, here's the other thing to it, Jacob, that getting a guy like Stenberg would be incredible to help Petey. 100%. I'm okay with keeping Petey if we get a Stenberg.
Sure.
And you put those two together and see if they can cook. Somebody needs to revive this guy's career. And the idea right now that he's going to do this with the players surrounding him, it's just not true. It's not possible. He needs either a new environment or new wingers. That's what he needs. But he said he likes it here. But I would still explore. If I was the general manager, I'd just say, hey, what is it? What are people offering? Are you offering me a first round plus? Then I'm thinking about it. If you want me to retain salary, I don't know if I'm going to do that.
No, too long.
So yeah, I think that's exactly what we're both thinking. And it's like, we're not even saying we have to trade EP40. It's just that as a general manager, you got to do your due diligence and just look and see. Even Hronek, for example, if you went and got a defenseman and you went and just said, hey, what would take? I'm sure you would get a first round pick for Hronek. And especially if it's for next year, that would be even amazing.
Hronek,
you're in rebuild. So let's do this, right?
Yeah. Hronek would be amazing to get. Like value-wise, he's as high as he's ever been, but he does have a no-movement clause. The agent made it very clear he doesn't want to move, so that's probably not going to happen. And also that would mean that we would be selecting a defenseman, which is possible, like a guy like Verhoeff or Chase Reed or Smits or Carls, who, by the way, there's this new Chris Conti posted a video of him skating around, and my goodness, I think it was Chris Conti or maybe it was someone else, but posted a video of him skating around, and my goodness, his skating is beautiful. Oh, it was Daniel G with it. But really, really cool video there of Carson there. But yeah, man, the thing about Petey, the interesting thing about Petey is like the guy, he's been through a ton of really tough stuff in his real life, and I'm sure it affected him. I am no doubt in my mind it would affect me for sure. So, I really, truly hope if it's here or somewhere else, he bounces back and has himself a great NHL career. He has the talent. He's an extremely talented two-way hockey player. Will it happen here? Who knows? But you never know with Petey. And the fans still support him, man. Even when he's like scores or even things, the fans still chant, "Let's go, Petey! Let's go, Petey!" Man, this is still continuing to happen, even with the season we had and how he still hasn't performed, and they're still chanting "Let's go, Petey." So it is fascinating. But you're right. I wouldn't retain. No starter for me.
Yep. Yeah, so you got to explore the DeBrusque thing. You got to explore DOC. You've got to just do those at whatever value you can get. I'm not saying you have to trade them. You got to look at it. Okay, now the other one is probably this one is the most Captain Obvious comment. You got to develop the young prospects. I found it fascinating to see that Alvin and Foote had a disagreement, and Alvin's like, you need to play the young players more.
Yeah, I
And
thought
it
about
looked
that. Yeah.
like Foote continued to play the veterans of the Kane, the DeBrusque, those guys, and didn't give these young guys enough. He had Zeev Bulliam on the third pairing. And I think they had some pretty interesting conversations behind the scenes. Next thing you know, Zeev's on that first line with Hronek, which he should be. And so here they are. Now they're in that spot. And I think developing these young players of the Elias Pettersson, the Verlanders of the world, what a blessing it was to have Verlander play the whole year, get some more experience. What are the guys like you think, like when you draft, whoever you're drafting that first pick, are you hoping that they're playing this year? And which one of the other guys are you wanting them to do?
Well, this year probably not. Like if we get a guy like Caleb Malhotra, he's probably going to be sticking around for another year or two, so we probably won't see him. So I don't think that's going to happen. Now Stenberg, I believe, has to he's not going back, so he's probably going to be into either the AHL or NHL. So that's definitely an opportunity. And Gavin, if he decides to, if you believe it's not just a marketing ploy, if you believe that he can actually go up there and play at a pretty good status, like even if it's a power play guy and kind of put up 50 points for you, I just worry about rushing him a little bit. But yeah, that's how I see that. As for Bulliam and Willander, and like you said, like culture is so important. Giving these guys, these young players, a voice and building this culture out from, like I said, from general manager to the coaching position, from the coach to the players, and being active in the community, being active with the Canucks for Kids Foundation, being active with the fan base and growing this organization through the hardcore fans, through the casual fans. I think is so important because that resonates into the locker room with better vibes, better positivity. And that is like, look at that Washington Capitals team when they went on that cup run. Look how they support each other. Look how Florida supports each other. Like every goal, they're going in crazy. Like this is not a business as usual. This is just how their culture is. I know this year obviously didn't go as well because of injuries, but like that's the type of thing you need. And I actually feel a little bit about that right now with the Buffalo Sabres. I'm just getting that little feeling that Buffalo has something special growing there, and it took them a while, but yeah. So that's how I see it.
Absolutely. Okay, so one of the things I was thinking about as a general manager, and I know there's a lot of pressure and it's a different day, but I just think that we have to have no more crazy contracts. I know the market's going up, but and what I mean by crazy contracts is the no movement clauses. They're passing them out like candy. There's other teams that are not doing that. I think, for example, Toronto. I don't even like saying that name right now because they won the draft lottery, but Toronto only had five no movement clauses on their whole roster, and I think we had, I don't know, something crazy like 11 or something like that. You know what I mean?
Problem is with Toronto, it's their 5 best players though. So like Marner, couldn't trade him because of it. Matthews, he has one. Ray Riley has one.
Yeah,
Nylander has one.
They're going to get it from someone else anyway. So if they're gonna walk or whatever, it is what it is. But I just don't think you should be giving it to the Marcus Petterssons of the world, these different guys, and it makes it so much more difficult. Like JT Miller one, I know that you're going to give it to him because he just had a 100-point year and a 99-point year and an 82-point year, but that one really hurt us. And so, and look at Quinn Hughes, elite player, didn't have one. We're able to get the best deal that we could get.
Amazing.
So that's one thing. What do you think about the no more crazy contracts? I know it's tough. It's tough. This is a different league now.
I don't know the exact stat. I don't know if it was 40% or 60%. If someone in chat there can let me know, that would be great. Apparently like 40 or 60% of the entire league, out of all the contracts, have some sort of protection attached to it, which is making extremely difficult to make trades and helping your roster, and that's just something that it would be great not to have. Now, there's always the downside of if you're not going to give that no trade clause, you're going to have to pay him more. I would be like, see, I'm at the state, like I want to talk about this because of the whole UFA type conversation I was talking about earlier, and this actually fits in perfect to what you're talking about here. Is I'm perfectly okay with signing guys maximum is where we're building for 1, 2, or 3 years. That's it. I'm not going any further unless you're talking about our young players. If you believe in them, you can go longer. But I'm talking about guys that you're just signing. No longer. I'm willing to overpay for those guys by an extra $1 million, extra $2 million. We're gonna have the cap space because at the deadline, you're always like guys who are flippable. Guys like Anthony Mantha are gonna be flippable. Guys like Marshman are gonna be flippable. Guys like McCarron is gonna be flippable. Like these like kind of bigger, kind of stronger type players, they're always flippable. Look at Bobby McMahon. He's flippable. Like I'm okay with signing some of these guys for these 1, 2, or 3 year deals. Now, will they sign it? Probably not, some of them. But some will because you're giving them an extra $2 million on top of things. So they don't have to be here as long. It's important to maximize value with this Canucks organization moving forward. And if you're going to be signing any UFA contracts, you gotta make sure you don't do, like you said, crazy high length contracts, 7+ years. Like look at the tragedy of Trent Frederick in Edmonton. They cannot get out of that, and that's really hurt them because it was just a fourth liner getting 8-year deal. It's just, I understand what they're doing to try to lower the cap, but the cap's going up so much you don't have to do that. So, yeah, I agree with you on a lot of that for sure.
Yeah. And I know it's not easy to do. It's easier said than done for sure. Yeah. But okay, what is another one that you have?
No, we went all through all of them.
Oh,
those are
perfect.
Those are my main ones.
Perfect.
Yeah.
I thought I missed one of yours. So
win the cup.
So just to recap, we talked about drafting well for our rebuild. We talked about exploring the trade options. Mm-hmm. We talked about developing the young prospects and making them. And then the last one is more crazy contracts. Here's the last one that I want to run by you, Jacob. I would love to know your opinion on this. And now it just left my brain as I set that up. How can I do that? Okay. It is, what do you want to see for the time frame to rebuild this team if you're the new general manager? What's your hope and what's your plan?
This is going to be a very cop-out answer, and I do apologize, but as long as it takes to build a proper team run properly. If it takes 3 years because you have the best lottery luck and these players are looking like absolute superstars and Caleb Malhotra is your true number one center and all of these guys that you're bringing in and you win the draft and you get Landon Dupont and everything, then great. Then it's 3 years. If you're unlucky with the draft or maybe guys are not panning out and you need to stagger your draft picks and do a little bit of a longer process, that's fine. I think personally a proper rebuild takes roughly 4 to 5 years, and that's with some decent luck. If everything goes well, which we obviously know as of the draft of yesterday, it didn't because we went down 2 spots. Could help us though. Like, I guess in theory we could still get the best player in that draft. It's possible because you don't know how all these guys are going to pan out in 5 years, but that's usually the range. I'm thinking 4 to 5 years, and I would be comfortable by then to be a contender, or definitely pushing kind of where Buffalo is, which took twice as long, if not longer.
Yeah, I do believe like if everything fell our way like Montreal, it did for Montreal. They drafted well. They had some guys. They added some guys, and were able to turn it around. We could do that. I just don't see that with the Canucks. I don't even like calling it luck because we don't even have that. We don't even know what that is anymore. So it's just so discouraging. But because it goes that way for Vancouver, I think it's a 5 to 7 year window of realistic. You can't hit on every pick, but if we can do it faster, great. And these guys develop, they become what we're hoping for. There's some pieces that we have that we can build around, and I'm really excited to see what happens. So I'm just hoping it's not the Buffalo 14 years process.
Please no.
But I think what I
Built to walk.
posted down here is there's a big difference between a playoff pretender and a cup contender. And it has to, everything that you decide as a general manager has to be before a cup contender. And I'm just
Yes.
saying this, I've been saying on my videos, you might get shocked by this, Jacob. It's not just about winning one, it's about winning multiple.
Mhm.
And I'm saying, so you're like, hey, you guys getting greedy. You haven't even won one yet. Yeah, I get it. But you can't plan, my goal is just to win one and then we're happy and then we're going to rebuild again. No, like you want to have a team that's contending year after year. So that is extremely important. And I know that it sounds crazy, but how do you not have that plan?
No, I don't think it sounds crazy at all. I think that's what you're trying to build towards, being a consistent Stanley Cup contender. That you don't even have to worry about the playoffs because you know you're going to make it every year, like a team like Carolina, who just doesn't matter what they do, they're always in that top 4 position because they're just that damn good. And I think they will break it down eventually and win that Stanley Cup. I know they won one in the past, but I mean like probably pretty recently here. I think they're going to pull one out here. So I agree with you 100%.
Well, thanks so much for being here. This is a mid content video for me because my live streams are about an hour. My short form content's about a minute and a half. And so we're right in the middle of that. So thanks, Jacob, so much for being part of this. I really appreciate the hard work that you put into this, making this Canucks community so much better. And it's been some dark days. We need some positive voices and excitement, and you bring that. So thanks so much for being here, my friend.
And thank you so much, and everybody in your community. I appreciate you guys supporting Rev and all the people that come over to my channel and support our channel as well in our community. We're kind of interlapped from time to time, and it's really nice to see you guys. And Rev, I wish you nothing but the best moving forward. Always a pleasure to come on, and I hope everybody here has a great day.
All right, everyone, have a good night, and go Canucks go.
Go Canucks go.